Part 2. The Hidden Society. The catacombs shook as if the earth itself rebelled. Dust rained from the vaulted ceiling. The torch flickered wildly, and Adrian felt the ground pulse like a heartbeat beneath him. Father Marcus clutched the manuscript tighter, his lips muttering desperate prayers. The cloaked intruder, however, stood perfectly still, as if this chaos was nothing new. "Adrian," the hooded figure said again, "history is not written, it is engineered, and you are about to see the machinery." Before Adrian could answer, the wall to his right cracked open, stones grinding against each other. A hidden passage revealed itself, dark and yawning. From within came a faint glow, like moonlight on water. The cloaked figure turned toward it. "Come." Father Marcus roared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "Do not follow. That path is death." The hooded one laughed softly. "No, Marcus, that path is the truth." Adrian's wrists were still bound, but a fallen shard of bone rubbed sharp against the ropes. With frantic effort, he sawed at the cords while the two figures argued. Finally, the ropes snapped. He had a choice: stay with the abbot who wanted him silenced, or follow the stranger who promised answers. His heart pounded with the weight of it. He stood. Marcus lunged, but Adrian darted toward the hidden passage, slipping past the abbot's grasp. The hooded figure motioned for him to hurry. Together, they vanished into the darkness, just as the catacomb ceiling cracked, raining stone upon Marcus. His last scream was drowned by the collapse. The passage wound downward, deeper than any monastery foundation should have gone. Strange carvings lined the walls, spirals, suns eclipsed by black moons, figures kneeling before crowned shadows. Adrian whispered, "What is this place?" The cloaked one's voice echoed softly, "The foundation of your world. These tunnels are older than Rome, older than Christ. While men fought wars above, the architects of the Dark Ages worked down here, unseen." They emerged into a vast cavern. Torches blazed along the walls, illuminating structures carved directly into the rock. Pillars as tall as towers rose into darkness. At the center stood a circular dais, etched with glowing runes. Dozens of figures in dark robes moved about the chamber. Some carried scrolls, others worked strange machines of brass and glass, their gears turning with no hands to guide them. Adrian's breath caught. Who were they? The figure lowered its hood. Beneath was a woman, her hair silver though her face was youthful, her eyes burning with intelligence. "We are the custodians. For centuries we have preserved what the world was never meant to know." Adrian stared. "And what is that?" She held up a parchment unlike any he had ever seen. Instead of words, it bore diagrams, machines, cities, devices that looked impossibly advanced. "This is the knowledge erased from your history. In the so-called Dark Ages, science thrived. Medicine, astronomy, even machines that could think. But those in power feared it. They decided mankind was easier to control in ignorance." Adrian shook his head. "But the plagues, the famines, the wars? All part of the script," the woman interrupted. "Suffering creates obedience, and obedience builds empires." He felt his world tilt beneath him. Everything he had believed, lies. But one question gnawed at him. "Why show me this? I'm just a scribe." Her eyes locked onto his. "Because you can write, and because the cycle is repeating." Before he could ask what she meant, a deep rumble rolled through the cavern. The torches shivered and the custodians froze. From the far end of the chamber, a massive door of black iron began to rise. Its surface was etched with the same runes as the dais, but these glowed blood red. The woman's face paled. No, they found us. Figures poured through the opening. Men in armor not of any age Adrian recognized. Their helmets were smooth, faceless, their weapons humming with unnatural light. At their head marched a tall figure in red robes, a golden mask covering his face. The custodians scattered, but the soldiers advanced in perfect silence, cutting them down with beams of searing light. Adrian stumbled back, horror clutching his chest. The masked leader pointed at him. His voice was metallic, distorted. "Seize the boy. He carries the seed of the next chronicle." Two soldiers advanced. Adrian turned to run, but the silver-haired woman grabbed his arm. She pressed the parchment of diagrams into his hand. "Go," she shouted. "Take it to the surface. If they capture you, the cycle will never end." Before he could protest, she thrust him toward a narrow tunnel lit by faint daylight. He ran. Adrian emerged into a ruined forest, the dawn sun bleeding through twisted trees. He collapsed, gasping, the parchment still clutched in his hand. Behind him, the catacomb echoed with screams and the hum of weapons. The custodians were being slaughtered. He unrolled the parchment again, his eyes scanning the impossible machines there. But one image froze his blood. It was a map, not of his world, but of the future. Cities that did not yet exist, wars that had not yet been fought. And at the center, a single phrase written in crimson ink. "The Dark Ages return in 2026. Adrian stared, trembling. His hand brushed the ink, and for an instant, he saw visions. Towers of glass and steel crumbling, people bound by invisible chains of knowledge and lies, an empire reborn in silence and shadow. He dropped the parchment, his body shaken violently. From the forest shadows, a figure stepped forward, the masked leader himself. Somehow, impossibly, he was already there, as if he had stepped through time itself. The mask tilted. "Did you think you could escape the truth, boy? History is not written on parchment. It is written in blood." He raised his hand, and the air itself crackled with power. Adrian screamed, and the world went black. The truth you just heard is only the beginning. There were even dark